Hello everyone, what's good, what's poppin'? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Caroline, and welcome to another fun, riveting, and exciting start to finish wig install tutorial. Today's video I'm going to be showing you guys everything you need to know to be able to achieve this beautiful, cute, and classy side part bob with the curls. Like, get into it. Look at those bouncy, luscious curls. So if you're interested on how I got this look, trying to sit down, relax, spend time with your girl, then let's get right into today's video.
Bad things, fine as hell, thick as fuck, oh my god, that's my baby, Caroline.
Y'all, sponsored or not, I can say with my whole chest that Ali Pearl is that girl when it comes to good quality hair, period. Like, let's talk about it. This is their 13x6 straight 16-inch HD lace wig in 200% density. I did get in the size large because I do have a big head. This wig comes with all the main customization work done for you. It comes with pre-plucked hairline that's also pre-bleached. It's not too pre-plucked where it's going to start balding on you soon, but at the same time, it's pre-plucked enough where I don't have to do any work beforehand and just really worry about the installation process. But I'm not going to hold y'all. It does smell a little fishy out the box, but you know what? It is what it is. I initially wanted to do a straight bob, so I requested for the straight hair in a 16-inch length because I like to have my bobs to be a little bit longer than what they're going to be at the end, so I can have room for cutting. And this is a 13x6, which is perfect for the side part, that nice deep S-curved side part that we're doing today, because we have all of that parting space. Basically, half the wig is just a frontal, so you got a lot of parting space. The wig also comes well constructed with the clips on the side and the back, and your removable elastic band, as well as the adjustable band in the back. Just your pretty standard construction in the wig. Now that we have the introductions all that the way, let's get right into the installation. Because for you to have a good install, you have to have good prep. While Ali Pearl might have amazing true quality HD lace, it still needs to be tinted for it to be my exact shade. I feel like all my wigs, no matter what it is, always get tinted, so that way it's going to match my forehead, not my face, but my forehead exactly. That's where the lace lays. So I'm just going in with my e.l.f. concealer. The first color I used, which is my typical shade. As you can see, it ended up being way too light, so I had to go in with a darker shade. Your girl's got a little tan this summer, so I'm using a little darker shade mixed with that lighter shade to get my exact color, and just go ahead and buff this underneath the lace. I'm mainly trying to focus that color at the edge of the lace where it's going to be blending from my skin to where the wig starts. But of course, I like to drag it down a little bit so everything is one unison color. I prefer to do this underneath the lace versus over because it just helps it look a lot less cakey. And I feel like it's better to tint your lace before installation versus after to avoid all the sprays and stuff you're using mixing in and just creating a mushy mess on your lace. Now that our lace is nice and tinted to match us exactly, see, look at that, beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna give the lace a chance to dry so it doesn't interact with the spray I'm using later. And I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping my hairline. Typically, I like to just use edge control or something to just help push back my little edges and just to give me a nice smooth canvas to work on. And the last thing you want right now is to have your little edges sticking out and getting confused with the edges of the wig versus your hair. It just gets in the way, so I make sure I push everything back. Plus, since I don't do any bald caps or wig caps, anything, I think the least I can do is just push my edges back, you feel me? Now I got my hairline nice and prepped. Back to prepping the wig. I just need to go ahead and cut off as much excess lace that I'm not going to be using so I know what I'm working with. Starting off with the lace that comes in the back of the wig. Let's do a 360. It's okay to cut off that excess lace in the back. I don't know why it's there, but some wigs do have it. Going ahead and just making sure I have my clips and combs, everything adjusted to get the perfect secure fit. If your wig is not sitting flat on your head, how do you expect to have a flat install? So I just make sure I have the adjustable clips nice and tight in the back, as well as the adjustable band as well. And I also do hook all of the clips onto the side and the back. Just everything I can do to make sure this wig is sitting nice and flat, especially given that today my braid pattern under the wig is not the most ideal braid pattern for this. I'm still gonna try my best. Almost to the installation part. Okay, last bit of prep we're gonna do is just cut off the little excess lace on the side of our ears. Since this is a frontal, we have to make sure that our ears are gonna sit out of this. Fun fact, when I first started doing wigs, I would never cut off the excess lace that sits on my ears because I was too scared. I didn't even think you were supposed to or allowed to. I just thought I had a weird shaped head. But now I know that that's not what you're supposed to do. You can't cut off the excess lace. It's literally meant for you to customize it to your shape exactly. I just go ahead and cut and trace a little U shape around my ear, and then I use my little tiny micro cuticle scissors to cut off the excess lace so my ears can comfortably poke and sit out. Now that I've freed my little ears, we are ready to get into the official installation. Now for the installation process, if you know me and you don't know me, I always do glueless installs. I don't do glue over here. I don't mess with it. I always say leave the glue to the professionals, but what I do use is a glueless adhesive. This one right here is very strong and long lasting. It's not gonna give you like weeks of hold like your glue will, but it'll give me a couple days. And honestly, I don't like sleeping with my wigs, to be honest. I feel like those who can sleep with their wig on, they're honestly better than me, because how do y'all not get hot at night? I rip my wigs off every night when I try to sleep with them on. I just went ahead and started off cutting the lace into sections. I feel like the best way to make sure you're gonna get every piece of lace and avoid lifting is working in sections, because just trying to do it all at once, honestly, it's really hectic and you're gonna miss some spots, I promise you, because I've been missing spots. So I always just work in sections based on how the hairline is curved. I start off with the side piece first, and I'm using a little cuticle scissors to go ahead and cut that, and I make sure I'm cutting in an up and down jagged motion to get a nice little jagged cut. Cutting straight across just makes the lace look very like, I don't know, just creates like a line of demarcation. So if you do up and down cuts, it's gonna just look a lot more natural. And then for the sides, I always like to spray underneath first and make sure I'm just like using my finger to spread all around under the side. Make sure I get behind my ears too, because the sides, they can be a little bit finicky. And to make sure they like really hold down nice and flat, I always pull out my side baby hairs or sideburns, if you want to call them that. And I use that to help like be an anchor to help me hold down the lace while I'm pressing it down with my rat tail comb. And while I'm pressing down the lace and everything, I'm using a blow dryer to really just help lock in everything to make sure it is dry and that lace is set. One section down, look at that, like where's that lace? Disappeared, melted, gone. And we have more sections to go. I haven't done a very detailed lace melting installation tutorial. Y'all want one? Because I got y'all, because I could talk for hours about tips to make sure you get the best laid and melted lace. But I'm just gonna go ahead and let the clips of me doing this side play, so you can, you know, for all y'all who are not really a big fan of me yapping, can watch and learn, and I'll come back for the rest of the install. Once I have the lace melted all around, I'm just gonna go ahead and put my satin scarf on, that's hard to say, and get the lace melted to just make sure everything is set, doesn't move, and start to shift throughout the day. And plus, I like to have an elastic band on when I'm doing like parting and the hot combing of everything to make sure I don't burn my forehead, because I gotta get really close to the edge of the lace to get everything pressed out. Here, I'm just going ahead and starting to create my curved part. I've always struggled for the longest on creating the perfect curved part, but I've learned the trick is to pull the hair forward towards your face like I'm doing here, and I kind of just like draw a C shape going around with the hair pulled forward. This helps me like kind of visualize it a lot better. And the part that I'm going for in today's style is not like fully curved. It's curved, but also more very like straight, like going back. Visually, I hope that makes sense. Once I was satisfied with where the part was laying, it's time to go in with that hot comb on the hottest temperature. I have it at 500 degrees, as hot as my hot comb can go. And to help in the pressing process, I'm using a little bit of hair wax at the roots, just gonna help like flyaways, and to help that hot comb kind of like just slide more into the hair, and to just lock the style and parting in place. And I go in and start pressing down the hairline. When I say press, y'all, I'm not being funny. I actually mean like press. Like make sure you're using your wrist to flip and press into that thick part of the hot comb for it to like lay where you want it to be. I feel like when it comes to like learning how certain styles are done, it's really about watching the technique that's being used. So if you're watching this video, I do hope that you're looking at like the direction that I press my hair in. Like the bang piece, I press it downwards coming towards my face, but if you notice on the sides, I going upwards on the roots, because I do want the hair coming up and out of my face, if that makes sense. So just really try to pay attention to like the direction that I'm doing things if you're trying to really recreate this hair, because it's really all about technique. Taking off the elastic band because the lace is nice and melted. Let's get a little hairline reveal. Ooh, look at that, honey. Look at that. Like, it was already looking good here, and I haven't even done anything for real, okay? I'm telling y'all, that technique is everything. And now I'm getting ready and I'm just getting ready and trying to part out all the hair that I want to do to create my little side swoop baby hair situation. If you've tried to like do that one baby hair swoop look that you do with the side part, and you're novice, you know how stressful it can be. I feel like it's the technicalities of these hairstyles that really make or break it. And I've learned it's really about the technique. So like the side part baby hair look that I'm going for, you gotta like first start off with the hairline all pushed backwards away from your face, and then you pull out the hairs in that same part that you want to use for the baby hairs, and you push them away from the rest of the hairline, because later you're going to push it back in. Like I said, visually this makes more sense. Verbally you're probably like, what? So yeah, once I've isolated the hair that I'm going to use for the baby hairs, I go ahead and spray it down so it can lay flat with the same little spray that you use to lay the lace, versus using your hot comb. You can use a hot comb to do this, but I always burn my head, so I just spray it down, let it get nice and flat. And I'm going in with a razor and cutting the hair in a diagonal, like a tapered cut, so it's going from shortest to longest as the hair that goes back into the hair. Cut that down. Always cut a little bit longer than what you want your baby hair to be, so you can have room to adjust later on. And I'm using my micro flat iron to just do a nice tight curl inwards, coming into my face. You don't need to have a flat iron to curl your baby hairs to get good baby hairs, but I feel like whenever it comes to doing these type of side swoop baby hairs, it does help a lot because it makes it easier to like brush it back into the hairline. I've recently started getting into using mousse when it comes to doing my baby hairs. I feel like mousse, honestly, it's so underrated. It's such a great lightweight product. It helps me like form and map out where I want the baby hairs to be, and I just push everything to where it needs to be. Only thing with mousse is that it doesn't hold, so you want like a more fluffy look, definitely go for mousse. But sometimes like this hairstyle, I do need a little bit more hold, so after I do the mousse and swoop the baby hairs the way I like it, I go in with some eco styler on top just to help like hold it where it needs to be. But honestly, it could be because the mousse I'm using is a very light hold. Maybe I get like a stronger hold mousse, that will help it. But I do really like using mousse these days. I think it's a great like fluffy baby hair tool to have in your like hairstyle toolbox. And here, right here, that little spot where like the baby hairs push back into the swoop, it's where I'm adding that eco styler gel, because that little spot right there, it's just like a little hard. You want it to get it to be flat, but you also don't want it to be going straight back, or the swoop look that doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? I'm honestly so proud of how fast I managed to do these baby hairs, because the way I've suffered my whole life, not my whole life, but for a while, trying to achieve getting the swoop baby hair look right. Telling you, practice, and technique really makes such a difference. Cause I did this so fast, didn't take too much time, too much effort, because I really got it down to a science. I'm over here using some Got2b to just help press that little area right there where, like I said, the swoop meets the rest of the hairline, to keep it nice and flat, because it does want to move a lot as you're styling the hair. And I just only did the baby hairs on this side where it's visible, because girl, if they can't see the other side, it's not their problem. But if you want to be extra, go ahead, do the baby hairs on the other side if you're like probably gonna do other styles with this hair. Once I have the baby hairs the way that I like for now, because I am gonna like, you know, cut them and tweak them more, but it's best to get like a rough draft at first and then go in later and do extra work with them. Just let them hold and set in place, and now I'm gonna get into the styling of the hair. So this wig, like I said in the beginning, was a 16-inch wig, and I always like to get my hair longer than what it's gonna be when I'm doing cuts, because you just gotta give yourself room, and plus you just end up having thicker looking hair, because unless you're getting like bundles, a lot of the time these wigs don't come full from root to tip, and if I didn't get it like this long length to cut it where I want it to be, the ends would be so like thin and shaggly. But since I am able to cut it to where I want it to be, I was able to cut it to the thickest area of the hair so I can have nice thick ends. And I try to be professional and use rubber bands to make sure I'm getting the hair even, but it still wasn't even. But the good thing about doing a curl style like this is like you can't really tell if you mess up with the cuts. I just kind of cut it down to where it needs to be, but I did cut about 4 inches off the hair, and I tried my best to use really nice and sharp hair cutting shears. Once I have the hair cut down to the length that I want it to be, it's time to get into the styling / curling, I suppose. For curling bobs, I find that using a flat iron to curl works the best in my opinion. It's able to get those like blunt ends. And this is my 1 inch curling iron. I'm sorry, this is my 1 inch flat iron. Excuse me for the typos in this voiceover. I've tried so many times to do this voiceover over and over again that I refuse to go over. So y'all gotta just work with me, okay? But I'm using my 1 inch flat iron to curl, and this is a Remington flat iron, $19 from Walmart. I'll link it down below in my Amazon storefront. And I'm just using this flat iron and trying my best to get all the curls to go backwards. And what I've learned for this type of bob curl, you want to make sure you're keeping the curls tight and keeping the curls high up on the hair. So don't drag the flat iron down where it's gonna elongate the curls. If you don't know how to do flat iron curls, I'm gonna try my best right now to give y'all a quick little tutorial, okay? So I get my flat iron on my left side, I open it up to the side, put the hair on like so. I wrap that hair around, flip it, look at my hand motion, y'all, flip it around, and basically I just keep opening and closing and twisting my hand until I make it down to the bottom. But like I said, I'm trying to keep the hair nice and tight on the top, so I'm not gonna be dragging the flat iron down the hair. I'm keeping it all at the top. Again, visually, I'm hoping that makes sense. And once I get all the way down to the ends, that's the key. Get the curl down to the ends. I open and close the flat iron and let the curl sit in my hand for a bit to let it set, let it drop, and bada bang, bada boom, you've got yourself a nice flat iron curl. I love doing flat iron curls. I feel like they're the most easiest once you learn how to do them, and it helps you not have to like buy many tools, because a flat iron really is the only hot tool you need if you want to start getting into like hairstyling, because it can do a lot. You can even do crimps, funny enough. But I'm gonna leave the rest of me curling the hair. So for those of y'all who want to like kind of get how I do it more, you can see what I'm doing, and I'm gonna come back at the end. Done curling, I did feel like this part was worth verbally explaining. So this is like the bang curl money piece. So for this part, I part the hair a little bit different. I part it like a bang, as you see. So I'm doing these curls still all going to the back, but the parting also affects how the curls are going to lay. Instead of parting the hair the way I've been doing it for the rest of the head, I separated the bang pieces separately, but still going away from my face and going up and away. So that way when I comb the curls later, it's all gonna like fall towards my face. And then using my wide tooth comb, I just go in and start combing the curls and just shaping, zhuzhing the hair into the style that I want. When it comes to like doing certain like curled looks, you really have to use your comb and your hand, whatever tools you got, to manipulate and frame and shape the hair where you want it to be. You don't just curl it and it falls where it's supposed to be. Nah, baby, you are the artist. You want to manipulate that hair, move it around. I promise you, just keep playing with it, keep combing it. It is going to start looking like what you want it to be. Like, you see how at first it was giving Shirley Temples, but as I keep playing around with it, doing a little left, a little right, it starts to look like what it's supposed to look. So I'm combing the hair towards my face at one point, combing the curls away from my face at another point. And also, as another great manipulation tool when it comes to curls is your hot comb. I love using the hot comb to help me just like make the hair flat in areas where the curl had too much bump to it. And also I like to use a hot comb to go underneath my roots to get it going upwards. Here, I could have stopped here. That's one look, but the look I wanted, I want the curls to come towards my face. So I ended up using the hot comb and pushing the hair down in my face to create this bang swoop look. But still right there in the part area, as you see, I still went ahead and pushed the hair, the roots upwards, because it does have like a little bit of like a bump. but it's still slight. Like I said, y'all, a lot of this is such a visual, so I hope you're using your 2 eyes and you're literally watching what I'm doing, okay? 'Cause that's how I've learned, just like watching lots of YouTubers, and eventually like it clicks in my head. But the rest of this is just me continuously combing and zhuzhing and shaping the hair until it starts to look like what I want it to look. And it's looking good, isn't it? Like, look at that. Okay, like I haven't done a curled bob, I feel like, honestly, ever. Have I? Not that I can remember. I'm always doing like a straight bob, and I was scared this hair wasn't gonna hold a good curl, because typically straight hair doesn't want to hold a good curl. But I'm really impressed with how well the curls held on this hair, and they actually came out nice and bouncy, and they didn't fall immediately. Now we're kind of in the finishing touches, perfectionist portion of the video. I'm just going in with my tweezer, and I'm just trying to like pluck out all the extra little hairs that are not meant to be in the style. There's always like little hairs that just stick out. This is kind of like what I do to clean up the look. And I also went in with the tweezers and cleaned up the part a little bit. I feel like the deep side part, it looks more dramatic when it's a little bit wider than the natural parting space allows it. So a little plucky here, a little plucky there. I did go on off camera and pluck the baby hairs a little bit thinner and like cut them a little bit thinner, but I wasn't recording because girl, I'm just a girl, okay? So with the clips in place, I went in with some hairspray to spray it so that way it's gonna hold its shape. I take the clips away. And I also went ahead and sprayed the rest of the hair down with the Got To Be hairspray. I love this stuff. It's the cheapest and best long holding spray. It doesn't make your hair like stiff after you comb it out. But before you do comb out the hair with the hairspray, let the hair sit and set in the style for like at least like 10 minutes for a bit, and then you can comb it and it won't move. Y'all notice how it went from light out to now it's nighttime? Yeah, that's because I was done. I've been done. But I was just being so obsessive and kept feeling like the hair wasn't good enough and wasn't done. But look at this. I'm over here on the camera, over here editing. I'm like, girl, you were tripping. This looks so freaking good. I was about to have him post this video because I was like, oh my God, the hair didn't come out good. It looks amazing. I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of you for making it to the end of this tutorial, honestly, because it was a bit of a lengthy one, but that's what I do. I give long, lengthy, detailed tutorials. But yeah, we made it to the end. Stunning, lovely, gorgeous. I hope it wasn't too hard to follow. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, this tutorial. And if you do try this look, definitely tag me, let me know, show me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in another one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And peace out, Girl Scouts. Goodbye.